so mess. But regardless, hello.
Let's begin, shall we?
Hello there, and welcome in. Hi, let us get started. Or not. Hi, hello, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, Duncan. I hope you had a great stream. I saw you were streaming, but I was trying to do other stuff, so I might have lurked or popped in from time to time. Yoon, hi, hello, how you doing? Duncan, hello, Mariners. Gotta do all the things. Major's doing stuff, so I gotta be my own mod. Um, yeah. I should probably get a second mod, so it's not all on Major, but she's amazing and does everything, so Fiddy, the type of guy to write his grocery list in Courier. Mm, nah, just I have switched to just having it as a note on my phone. Sylvie, hi, hello as well. All right, I think we got all the shout outs. Imagine not having multiple Yeah. Imagine putting all the pressure on one person. Yeah, I used to have a second mod, but now I only have one. So, yeah. Very few things damage stream growth like having too many mods. Yeah. Yeah, and I have a lot of settings fairly restrictive, so it should help prevent people coming in and spamming and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. Not the person per se, but more on the quality. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, thank you. I have my Captain Marvel shirt. We're not starting writing Captain Marvel today, even though I may have gotten bored at work the other day and quick outlined like every idea I had, and now I have a kind of outline for when we start that, which will be July 12th. Yeah, so we're gonna start our next stream project on July 12th. On Sundays is gonna be writing Captain Marvel 3. But Tuesday and Thursday will still be editing our current project. So, yeah, that's the plan for stream moving forward. I will be out next week. My parents are coming to town. We're going to some national parks and stuff, so that's why it's not going to be this coming Sunday. Yeah. Bored at work is the best kind of productive. Yeah. Yep. We'll just leave it there. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. I have ideas for 50. Is your window closed? Yes. Why? Is this a setup for a joke, or is there something actually I'm not seeing? Stop trying to get in. My mate Harry sent a football flying over top of the bar so far. Just make sure it doesn't hit you. Yeah, all of my windows are closed, doors are locked, blinds are drawn. All right. Now, good. No footballs in the stream. Nope. I have a couple signed footballs over on top of my thing over there. Oh, it's not a cabinet. My shelving over in the other room. So I could go grab a football if we needed to, but nah, probably don't need to. Ball less stream. Yeah, there will be. Yeah, no. We're moving on. Am I what? All right, moving on. We are going to start our movie puzzle. We got 10 minutes on the clock. We need to fill in an actor based on the clue of a movie, character name, a year they won the Academy Award. I think those three. 50 is sick of us already. Not sick of you, just sometimes you realize when you need to get the stream back on the rails. Alright, so we have someone from the Theory of Everything. People that come to mind for that are Eddie Redmayne, Felicity Jones might be it? Yeah. Felicity Jones. There are rails? Mariner's sauce has gone moldy due to high UK temperatures and the fact it does not store his sauce in the fridge. Major! Hi, hello, welcome in. You missed raid and I had to do the mod things with the shoutouts and stuff. And I was like, oh no, Major's not here. I have to do mod stuff. But we survived. It's okay. I would never, Mariners. Lies. Lies and slander. Yeah, I only cried a little. Boys in the Hood. Ooh. I do not know that cast well. I think Ice Cube was in it, and Cuba Gooding Jr., but I'm not sure. I'll better schedule my life around streams going. No problem, Major. I know you were hanging out outside with the husband, so yeah, that always takes priority. For Avatar, it's gonna be Zoe Saldana. Regina King. Yeah, that's right. I think we've had this one before. I mean, already I can tell you the first name's going to be Elizabeth. Just a matter of which one. The husband or her husband? I think that needs clarifying. Major just clarified it. Wait, I'm gonna see if I can spell this. S-A-I-O-R-S-A. Saoirse Ronan. What's the second line again? Oh, the one we skipped. Oscar winner from 1973. S-A-O-R-S. Oh, it's E, not A. God damn it. Should have known because there's all the vowels. Vision. Paul Bettany. Shrek. Mike Myers. True Romance. Somebody with a very long name. It might be Patricia Arquette. Joel, yeah, that's who it will be. Grui, yeah. And then Burn After Reading. So I know that's Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Frances McDormand, John Malkovich. Something like that. We're going to see if we can get all of them. We're halfway through. Alright, now for the last name. K, not C. Oh, for the first C in Malkovich. M-A-L-K. First clue on the last name is going to be for Lion King. Oh, really? Burn After Reading your favorite Coen Brothers film. Interesting. So Lion King, we got James Earl Jones, so it's obviously not him. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, obviously not him. Matthew Broderick? No, too many letters in the first name. Jeremy Irons, that doesn't... Oh, it's Whoopi. Goldberg. So it's Elizabeth Olsen, so I'm pretty sure we've had this one before. My favorite, second favorite actor in The Avengers. Yeah, we've had this one before. So we are going to fill the grid because we've had that one before. How was everyone's day? My day was pretty good. I woke up, I had kind of a headache because I didn't sleep great. But, yeah, just kind of, luckily I get to work from home on Tuesdays, so just kind of relax for a bit, got to play some Fortnite with Major, and then got a couple things done before streaming, so overall, not bad, can't complain. The Tomorrow War? I do not know that movie. Alright, someone who was in Her and Catch Me If You Can. Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man and Tropic Thunder. He was in Tropic Thunder? Apparently he was. Was he just a cameo, or was he an actual role? We can go Robert Downey Jr. there. We can go Leonardo DiCaprio there. He had a cameo in one of the... Oh, that's right, the Priests one. Yeah, okay. I remember now. Catch Me If You Can in Spider-Man. I wonder if it's going to be something like Elizabeth Banks. Yep, Rad got me. Sage, hi, hello. Again. Chris Pratt for Tomorrow War and Her? Alright. I still don't know what the Tomorrow War is. I'm gonna have to look this up. Okay, so who was in Her? Not worth the watch. Okay. Tomorrow War sucked, you can skip. I'm just curious to see like what it is because like it's not often that I see the name of a movie and just like I have nothing. Joaquin Phoenix, Scarlett Johansson. Actually, was Amy Adams in both? She was. Ah, ah. Levington. Hi, hello. How are you doing? Good cast, bad right. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So who is in Her? Oh, that sounds bad. Who is in the movie Her and Tropic Thunder? Let's see. Joaquin Phoenix, Scarlett Johansson, Amy Adams, Bill Hader. Oh my, it's always Bill Hader. I always forget about him. Yeah. All right. All right. Being lazy today and just chilling. Nice. I'm gonna guess Elizabeth Banks. Yep. I knew she was in Spider-Man. I was kind of sure she was in Catch Me If You Can, but wasn't 100%. But yeah. All right. We got two left. Chat, you're gonna have to carry this one because, like I said, the Tomorrow War is not ringing any bells for me. Mariner, stop spreading lies. Okay, yeah, J.K. Simmons would also be for Spider-Man, then, if he's in it. Yep. Cool. That finishes us up. Perfect. Not a wrong guess. GG, chat. Now, what the hell is the Tomorrow War? Oh, it's an Amazon original movie. That's probably part of why I feel like I've never heard of this thing. Chris Pratt, Yvonne Strahovski, J.K. Simmons. And it has Betty Go. Okay. I remember seeing a preview for this because Chris Pratt is like married to Betty Gilpin, but he has to go to the future. Something like that. A family man travels to the year 2051 to join a global war against a deadly alien species. And I'm sure he doesn't meet anyone who he might be related to when he travels to the future. It's the sequel to the Today War. It already looks dreadful. You're not wrong. Amazon original movie tells its own story right there. They go back in time to recruit fighters for a war in the future, I think. Don't know. Is bored. Fair. At least Amazon made Grand Tour and Clarkson's Farm. Okay. What about the Yesterday War? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, outside Chris Pratt, decent cast. Not a huge fan of Chris Pratt, but anyway. Yeah. Invincible also looks good. I really liked Invincible. I have like the hardcover first five, but I just, yeah, never really got around to watching it. But I have heard good things about it. They need real fighters who grew up before the internet. They also made a version of War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds that was worse than Spielberg's. Yeah, the one with Ice Cube. You're on season 4 now? Nice. Yeah, I see a lot of GIFs and clips on Instagram, and like I know the context for a lot of them because I read the source material, but yeah, I just never got around to watching it. Gamers make ideal soldiers in modern warfare. There was a movie called Gamers, I believe, with Gerard Butler, where they had gamers control prison inmates, and if they survived, the prison inmates got freed. They have weird concepts for movies, if you haven't noticed. Been stuck on this chapter all day, no idea where to go next with it. I don't know, Mariners. You say that, but I can email something that will turn your AR-15. Oh, what? No. Oh, yeah, also Ender's Game. Yeah, Mariners, when I get stuck and I'm not sure where to go next with my story, I do tend to look at, like, um, story structure guides and stuff like that just to get an idea and kind of get the gears turning, but I try not to adhere to them like religiously. Like you need to be able to kind of construct the story in the way that makes sense and not just fill in the blanks of a story sheet. So that's something you could try if you want. It also just, yeah, it depends on your story, your characters, and the arc you want them to go on. So that's the best advice I can give you, not knowing much of what's happening. All right, now on to our editing and stuff. We are on to scene. It says 22. Okay, so we're through that. We're back here. Okay. Yeah, it's tough because lots of the books are similar in terms of story to mine are first person, whereas mine isn't. At least the ones I've read or am reading. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the interesting things about writing a novel versus writing a screenplay, because in novels, like, you can tell it from the perspective of a character. You can see the whole thing through their eyes, but in film, like, it's much more objective viewing the events of what's happening. I mean, there are ways to make it subjective and through a character's eyes, like with voiceover and narrowing the film's perspective, but generally it's going to be much more objective outside of characters' heads, whereas with books you can go into characters' heads and their thoughts and see things strictly through their eyes. Might just control A, backspace, find a new hobby. Hey, Hardcore Henry. Alright, you named one example of a movie that was shot in first person point of view. That's why I said generally. I always have to be careful with like every little thing I say, don't I? Anyway, moving on. So we are picking up with editing. Previously, we got through the opening sequence of Margaret and Helene in the colonial settlement. And then we went through the scene of Margaret at the Shawnee settlement years later, seeing Helene. And then she is currently in the Carolinas meeting with Bryn. Yes, gotta keep you on your toes. Yeah. I remembered after I finished stream last time, I forgot to put our years in some of our headers, so we're going to go ahead and do that to get back to scene 22. So this is kind of the first part of the scene with Bryn and Margaret catching up a little bit, and Margaret explaining why she sought out Bryn again. And so they go back into... Why is there a kissing booth 2? 2. Why is my wife committing the forcible offense of watching in front of me? I can't answer that question for you. Alright, and then we're picking back up in the scene after Bryn and Margaret see some flashes of what happened with Helene and Margaret. So that's where we're at. Because we need some whimsy in this. You're not wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So we're interior, storeroom, tavern, back to scene, 1681. Overwhelmed, Margaret recoils. Bryn remains, contemplating. I think we got through a little bit of this, but not enough. So we'll just go back to the top, and I have a feeling we'll figure out where we left off. Bryn. 'Twas her. Shaken from having to relive the memories, Margaret lingers. Margaret. But how? Bryn looks to Margaret, expectant. You still don't see. The kissy. Oof. Bryn looks to Margaret, expectant. You still don't see. Margaret's tear-filled eyes meet Bryn's, inquiring. I mean, it has Joey King, and I'm a big sucker for a girl. What? Well, unsurprisingly, I haven't heard of what movie Naughty Dog... Heard of that. Oh, heard of that movie. So, Naughty Dog in his situation. Usually the one driving her into therapy. Bryn looks to Margaret, expectant. Bryn, you still don't see? Margaret's tear-filled eyes meet Bryn's, inquiring. Bryn, she was burned, but didn't die. Burned. But she didn't die. Margaret, no one survives that. Bryn, she did. And decades passed, but she still... Then decades pass. She did. And decades pass, and she still looks the same. She did. And decades pass, and she still looks the same. Why is that hitting strange for me? She was burned, but she didn't die. Margaret, no one survives that. Bryn, she did. Then decades pass. The decades pass, and she still looks the same. The realization begins to dawn on Margaret. Margaret, how did I not... The hunters arrived, but they weren't after you. Margaret, they were after Helene, because she's a witch. The fuck just happened outside? I don't know. Someone's tearing stuff down. It's fine. Sure, it's fine. That Mariner might be him trying. No one survives that. But she did. And decades later, she still looks the same. For fuck's sake, I wore my fluffy socks to keep it quiet too. The realization begins to dawn on Margaret. Should I switch this line to just a parenthetical on Margaret, like, realizing? Remember with the guy, Scale Trump Tower with those suction cups? Not specifically, but maybe. You did it to other buildings too, I think. Maybe. The realization begins to dawn on Margaret. Margaret, how did I not... Bryn, when the hunters arrived, they weren't after you. I changed it to just the realization dawns on Margaret. Sounds kind of awkward. Yeah, I guess I imagined it more as the realization isn't like in an instant, it's more of like a process. And so this is the first time she starts to realize what Bryn's leading her to. Or parenthetical, gradually realizing. Yeah. No one survives that. But she did. Decades later, she still looks the same. Margaret, realizing she... How did I not... When the hunters arrived, they weren't after you. Yeah. Or brackets, Gretchen. That's right. Mariners doesn't like parenthetical, he likes brackets. Weren't after you. Margaret. They were after Helene. Because she's a witch. Okay, so we have... I sometimes do this. It's okay. We're gonna fix it. Well, whatever. Go eat biscuits in the um, we have Margaret. Her eyes meet Bryn's, and then in the next action line, we have Margaret looks to Bryn. So I think I need to remove this first one. And have something like Margaret looks off, contemplating. Yeah. Alright. Shaken from having to relive the memories, Margaret lingers. Margaret, but how? Bryn looks to Margaret, expectant. You still don't see. Margaret looks off, contemplating. Bryn, she was burned, but she didn't die. Margaret, no one survives that. Bryn, but she did. And decades later, she still looks the same. Margaret, realizing, she... How did I not... Bryn, when the hunters arrived, they weren't after you. Margaret, they were after Helene, because she's a witch. Margaret looks to Bryn. Bryn nods. So I don't think questioning is the right word here. She's more like looking for confirmation. Confirming? Confirmatory? Verifying. Just so we are on the level playing field, when I can play in here, Duncan checked before the raid 87% humidity and it's fucking off. Oh, yeah. The humidity will get you. This is what I want. I know, Mariners. I was just messing with you because you were talking about your exam on spelling, punctuation, and grammar. I think verifying might be more correct. Margaret looks to Bryn, verifying. Bryn nods. Margaret, I have to find her. See, I did it again. Margaret keeps looking to Bryn. She can only look to her so many times. Yeah, surprisingly, that was my best score. No idea how. Yeah, I know how to fix this though. We do that. Margaret looks to Bryn, verifying. Bryn nods. Margaret, I have to find her. Resolved. Help me find her. Bryn leans back in her chair, hesitant. Reluctant, Bryn leans back in her chair. Whenever anyone complains about the weather anywhere, I have to point out that I grew up in South... Oof. That's real swamp country. Storms in Alabama? Oh, that's cute. Reluctant, Bryn leans back in her chair. Bryn. What do you think? After all that, the hunters will just let her be, forget about her? What do you think? After all that, the hunters will just let her be? Forget about her? I went without power for 28 days in August of 2021, thanks to Ida. Oof. I put too much into action lines. We get rain so bad people drown. Could you not just turn it back on? It appears I have lost this debate. Yeah. What do you think? After all that, the hunters will just let her be? Forget about her? Margaret. She's out there. I have to find her. Bryn. What then? And what then if you do find her? And she asks you where you were while she burned. Take your wet socks and go home. She's out there. I have to find her. And what then, if you do find her, and she asks you where you were while she burned? Come on. Oh. Okay. Asks, yeah. Wavering, Margaret doesn't have a response. Bryn looks over Margaret's unfamiliar face. Wavering, Margaret doesn't have a response. Bryn looks over Margaret's. Wavering, Margaret doesn't have a response. Bryn looks over her unfamiliar face. Bryn. Oh, we have and up there, so I don't know. And what then if you do find her? and she asked you where you were while she burned. She wouldn't even recognize you. You'd just be a stranger to her. She wouldn't even recognize you. You'd just be a stranger to her. I think I have this line in this scene like 5 times so far. Margaret, maybe it's better that way. I could start over, not to let the past get in the way. I would do anything to be with her again. Why do I repeat stuff so much? Reluctant Bryn lies back. Okay. Yeah, I need something else there. Oh wow, the fact that many people would pay the fee. Huh? Oh. What is another word for reluctant? Ooh, I like a verse. I don't use that nearly enough. Hesitant. Yeah, hesitant I use quite a bit. So I was trying to see if there was anything else that came up. A verse I like. I can't get involved. If the hunters find you? I can't take that risk. Bryn stands, steps to the door. Steps toward the door. Margaret, you would have done it for Declan. Bryn stops, turns, staring daggers at Margaret. Okay. Halting, Bryn turns, stares daggers at Margaret. Bryn, don't. Margaret, please. Rattled, Bryn lingers. Yeah, because I think we had remained a couple times. But we might have removed them. Yeah, because we have Margaret lingers. We have Bryn remains there. Rattled, Bryn remains. Margaret, what would you do if you had the chance? Acceding, Bryn nears a stack of bottles lining the walls. Okay. Hmm. So I wonder if I should have a line in here of like Bryn's eyes flickering back and forth like she's um I'd have to think of a word for it. But basically saying like she's using her powers to try and see if she helps Margaret, what this will, the dominoes that will fall into the future. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea to have something like that here. Like her eyes are scanning the future. Kind of, yeah. Because if I say her eyes flicker, someone would think flickering open and closed, not back and forth. Whereas if I say her eyes shift, eyelids, yes. Then if I said eyes, it would be unspecific. It wouldn't be specific enough, rather. So, what is it? What's an example of something kind of universal where people's eyes will shift back and forth? Watching. uh, I regret everything. Um. Oh, I see what you're saying. Major wasn't making it funny. I thought you were like dart. I thought you were saying like people playing darts, but you were saying her eyes are darting. Back and forth. Someone has read their dictionary today. um, yeah, I don't know if she's necessarily weighing the options. Rat's eyes fired at the cast, causing tears. um, I don't know that she's not necessarily weighing the options. It's more she's just seeing the possibilities of what would happen if she does help. That's what they look for when they check your eyes for a DUI test. Or I can just be explicit with it and say Bryn's eyes dart back and forth, evaluating possible as she evaluating possible futures. Bryn's eyes dart back and forth. But I don't know if I want to be that specific or that explicit with it. Dart frantically, swing back and forth, jiggle like two jelly-filled orbs of sea things. uh, so something like that. Halting, Bryn turns, stares daggers at Margaret. Bryn, don't. Margaret, please. Rattled, Bryn remains. Margaret, what would you do if you had the chance? Seeing possible futures, Bryn's eyes dart back and forth. Well, your image is in the way. Sorry. There's only so much space on the screen. How many futures did she see? And how many do we win? What is it, like 17 billion? Some. How many do we win? One. So, something I think is interesting. I don't know if anyone else will. Um, Marvel does not release their screenplays, probably because they're nothing like the final finished films, because a lot of stuff they don't even have a screenplay for. My dumb ass thought that was from Moneyball. Nah, it's not from Moneyball. Hard agree, love villains that have a point. Good. I hope you're here for when we start the writing of the Captain Marvel 3, because I like my villains, but I really don't agree with them, but their reasoning has parallels to current stuff. You hear how Tom Holland learned how Nolan has written a script before filming. He went back to Sony Marvel to teach. Yeah. There was a funny. Yeah, the story I heard was he was on the set of Spider-Man Brand New Day. The scene wasn't working. He was like, guys, the scene isn't working. And when I was on the Christopher Nolan film, if the scene wasn't working, we'd like talk about it and figure out how to make it work. We should do that here. Like, wow. But yeah, like, um, what is it? Script slug? If we search scripts, Infinity War. Oh, I added an extra I in Infinity. Nothing. Like, none of the Marvel stuff. Deadpool and Wolverine, but technically not Marvel. Thor, that was early. Deadpool. Across Spider-Verse is Sony. Yeah, Deadpool is Fox. They have Avengers Endgame in here, really? I wonder if this is real. Oh, because they put it up for your consideration? Sorry, missed stuff. Spider-Man has a deadly disease. Would the movie be called Spider-Man Far From Healthy? Figure it out? No, throw more money at it. Exactly. Well, there is a comic where Spider-Man's radioactive, seeming gets married to cancer and she dies. Hi, new person. Sup, how's it going? Welcome in. We are avoiding editing by looking up stuff and talking nonsense. Yeah, I know I spelled infinity wrong, rad. So they submitted this one for an Academy Award. That's why it's out there. But usually they don't. But this one is probably based on the finished version of the movie. So you can tell like how close it is. But I'm going to save this because we might need to reference it later for other things. Anyway. So you're talking about movies. Yes, we talk about movies quite a bit in here because we are also writing movies, or trying to. I got a Spider-Man DVD with a small comic and shit inside. Pretty cool. Nice. If you like movies, I highly recommend the OSS 117 Revival Trilogy. Yeah, the irony is we hate movies. Wait, we're talking about movies? What is that? The OSS 117 Revival Trilogy is a celebration of French spy comedy films. Oh, this is the one with, yeah, Jean Desjardins. His French films outside of, like, the actor, or not the actor, the artist. Yes, I have heard of these. I have not seen them. But they're like spy comedy movies. I think the other stuff were posters and stuff. No idea, but it was cheap. Top secret, best spy movie. James Bond can't hold us. If you want to see Letterboxd. If you want to see the movie that all James Bond movies were based off of, 1928. There's a movie called Spies by Fritz Lang. This is basically the setup for every James Bond movie. It lays out the template for every single James Bond movie. It all goes back to... Yeah. Yeah, the main character in here is an agent, and he has 3 numbers that they reference him by, but it's not 007, it's some random letters. But, like, the bad guy, like, everything about it, and it was made in 1928 is the crazy thing. But, yeah, pretty much everything by Fritz Lang, especially when he still lived in Germany, because, you know, 1928 in Germany, some things were about to go down that caused him to leave Germany. It all goes back to Fritz. Yes. Yeah. I think he made the most influential movie ever with Metropolis, because you can trace back like 90% of pop culture to Metropolis. You should watch Miss Wilson. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Outside of that, I also recommend just like Brothers, Book of Solutions, and a 2024 French adaptation, Count of Monte Cristo. Did we talk about that on this stream or someone else's? I remember we talked about Count of Monte Cristo. I haven't seen the newer French one, but I did see the one with Jim Caviezel and Henry Cavill from the early 2000s. I think that's the last version I saw. But I have heard good things about the newer French version of it. Yes, Major. Before he was in Man of Steel, His second movie. He was in The Count of Monte Cristo. They made a movie about a fried ham sandwich with powdered sugar. Yeah, this would have been before he was in The Tudors as well. He was in Stardust? Okay. Yeah, what was it? 2002. Suddenly I'm hungry. The 1975 English Count of Monte Cristo is very good. Okay. Do they have photos? Yeah, there you go, Major. Super baby-faced Henry Cavill. 2002, The Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah, I saw it years ago, um, so I really don't remember if I liked it or not. Um, isn't this a classic novel? Yes, Mariners. Yes, it is. Didn't realize again. I haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time either. But I don't know. I might have been looking at his filmography or something, and or it was after. It might have been I watched it after he was cast as Superman, just trying to see other stuff he was in. So I mean, one way or the other, it's been 10, 15 years at least since I've seen it. Ruin Albert's character in the falls of Ferdinand. That guy was Superman? Also, the prison sequence is ass. I should reread Dumas' book. Not a bad idea. How far behind am I? Okay, we're almost to the end of the scene. That's good. Um, oh, wow. Yeah, we went a little bit over. Um, before we finish this sequence, hopefully, need to stay on track. I am going to take a quick break, but have no fear. I'm going to disappear, but I will be replaced with words on stream. In terms of my favorite actor, a big fan of Pierre Nini. I do not know who that is. Is it Mariners? Are you trying to like? Never mind. Yeah, we're just gonna play some words on stream. It's gonna show on stream a bunch of letters. You type into chat a word you can find that is 4 letters or more based on that, and you have to wait for the little locks on the timer before you can submit another word. Right, Naughty Dog? Boo locks. Pierre Nani is the French actor for Edmond Dante. Okay, the 2024 French version. All right, nice. All right, we're gonna start this up. I will be back shortly. 3, 2, 1, go. That second one was definitely a bit tougher. GG's team. That timer's a pain in my existence. Naughty Dog, well done with the gold medal. Mariners putting in some work. Levington as well. And I was the mascot. GG's everyone. Alright, words on stream. Well done. We were robbed, pair. Yeah, and I was here for a few seconds. Yeah, Levington, that's why Naughty Dog hates the timer, because you have to wait before it unlocks, before you can do the second, before you can do another word. So you can only do 5 words until the last little part. He was all checking the windows. Maybe. All right. Back to hopefully trying to finish up our scene. All right, so Margaret asks Bryn, please. Rattled, Bryn remains. Margaret, what would you do if you had the chance? Seeing possible futures, Bryn's eyes dart back and forth. I hope Streamlabs doesn't take a big poop, or there will be no more commands. Yeah, we do have all of our commands. Link there. So, seeing possible futures, Bryn's eyes dart back and forth. So I was thinking about this while I stepped away for a second, and I think this needs to tie more into Bryn's sacrifice at the end. So I'm trying to think of the best way that we can kind of foreshadow that. Mariners has a question. Okay. Yes, Mariners. How important a role, if any, do you think consuming bad or low quality media plays in helping you develop as a writer? So this is something that some film critics that I listen to regularly always mention. Yeah, Naughty Dog kind of got there before I did. When you watch something bad or something you don't like, one of the best things you can do is ask yourself, why didn't you like it, and what would you have done differently? And I think those things help you as a creative to get more in line with kind of your creative what's the word I'm looking for? Parameters, maybe? Yeah, I'm seeing that with one of the books I'm reading right now. It's not bad, but there are some things I would change. Yeah. And I mean, sometimes that's the best thing you can kind of take out of it. Bad like Jurassic World Dominion? Oof. I don't know, Rad. Actually, I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know. I haven't seen any of the Jurassic World movies. I think I saw Jurassic Park, the Lost World Jurassic Park when it originally came out, but not since then. Possibly the worst movie ever made? I don't know. There are some really bad movies. Jurassic Park mentioned? Yeah. I think Jurassic Park's the only one in the series that I've seen outside of maybe The Lost World when it originally came out. Dominion was real bad, but dinosaurs! I haven't seen any because I don't know. Yeah, that's fair. Um, yeah, there might be dinosaurs in the next thing we write. Briefly. But there's some caveats to that. Quentin Tarantino is one of the worst screenwriters in the world, but dude can operate on a technical level like you wouldn't believe. I turned the movie off and I was on an airplane, so that should tell you something. Rad would rather just sit in silence between two giant sweaty dudes than watch Jurassic World Dominion. Always. Oh, you always take the window seat? I always like the aisle seat because I tend to try to stay hydrated when I travel. So that should be self-explanatory. For every bad movie, there's an asylum movie that's, yeah. Outside of the Count of Monte Cristo 2024, I think Book of Solutions fiasco, just like the brothers, Pierre Ninny's best performance. Okay. Or better in some cases. Hot take, I love Pulp Fiction, but as a movie, it was god awful. It would have done so much better once even TV show. Hot take. Um, Rad never gets up on a plane. Yeah, then that's probably the best. Yeah, you always have to take window or aisle. Middle seats are just the worst. Um, yeah, I have kind of a soft spot for Pulp Fiction, just because I know it's one of my dad's favorite movies as well. So it's something we kind of have bonded over the years. But there are definitely some things about that movie that are just like when the director casts himself in a role that says the N word like 5 times. Not great. Um, Too busy worried about dying on the fly. Like it was fire, so many good quotes, but as a movie, I don't know. Oh, you had the watch? Sit as far back as possible. Statistically, people who sit close to tails are fine. Chat. I know this won't change anyone's mind, and it's okay. Plane travel is like 1,000 times safer than car travel. Anyway, in terms of historical those, I think 27 gunpowder is good since it recreates the gunpowder plot pretty well. Okay, nice. The gold watch that Christopher Walken say. Yeah. Driving is the most dangerous thing we do as humans on. Yep. And work won't let me work from home, so I have to drive every day because work hates me and everyone because they force us to have to go to the office even though we don't have to be there to do our jobs. Depends on who you fly. Fair. Statistically, also, everyone can just die, so sit close to the front so you can get off quick and not miss your next flight. Yeah. 94% of all accidents are caused by human error. Yeah. All right. What was I thinking? Um, so if this is tying into what happens at the end with Bryn, I feel like she's gonna be shaken, but we have her rattled there. But not all car accidents are fatal. Most plain ones are. Hmm. Today's lesson: learn to drive drunk. Practice pre. Practice. No, I do not condone that. Also, there's likely way more people driving at one time than people flying. Yeah. Wisconsinites have too much blood in their alcohol systems. Bryn, when the time comes, I hope you do what's needed. Unsettled, Bryn nears a stack of bottles lining the wall. Shifting them, she retrieves hidden flasks. Multiple hidden. We cut it with tomato sauce. If you know, you know. What I would love to know is why it takes so long at the airport to get your bag around a corner onto a plane. Why do they make airports smell like the inside of a perfume bottle? They need to rummage through your bags. Yeah. Alright, unsettled, Bryn nears a stack of bottles. In terms of other French films I plan to watch, they are called Guru from 2026 and Masquerade from 2022. Nice. Most of the French movies I watch are older films. Most of the more recent ones are usually like award winners that have made it to the States. All I know is when I was in Milwaukee, I got to visit a bar called the Walk Her In, Drag Her Out. Also, why do people always, and I mean always, feel the name to stop right in front of you when you're walking? Take a selfie. Yeah, Mariners. I am a fast walker. Um, and especially when I'm in an airport, like I want to get out of the airport as quickly as possible. And so like when people stop or are slow, like makes my blood boil. It's because again I'm a fan of Pierre Niney, which is funny because pictures of him in 20s make him look like Tom Holland. Naughty Dog been to the Hideaway? Must be an MKE thing. What is it? ML Milwaukee thing? People who stop walking in the middle of the street, corridor, anywhere have a special awareness of a pencil. Yeah, I like to take walks during the workday to just kind of get out, stretch my legs, get out of my closet that they call an office. And when we have students there, they are real bad at that because sometimes like they only have a couple minutes between work or between classes, so they will like stand out in the hallway checking their phones. Like they'll just stand like right in the middle of the. Yeah, I. Mm, but I work there and I'm supposed to be supporting them, so I don't say anything. But I really sometimes wish I could. Okay, you got. Okay. The only non-French stuff I watched were the Moon Thieves from China and Following from South Korea. Interesting. I have not seen either of those. Oh, we can say a crate, hidden crate of flasks. Yes, that makes it cleaner instead of multiple flasks. A friend of mine was told his formatting on the exam was, quote, chaotic as fuck by his teacher one time. So perhaps you have better manner. Yeah. Reminds me of the director of The Wailing made a new film. Alright, we gotta start looking some stuff up. Hong Jin Na. Guess we should look at director. So he's made two. Faith was a short. Hope, I believe. Good South Korean horror film. Moon Thieves is a heist movie. Joe's fan that belonged to NASA astronauts who went. Oh, interesting. Two young men become involved in a complicated crime involving antique watches. Silas! Hi, hello. Welcome in, how you doing? The Chaser was pretty good. What was the other one you mentioned? And Following. See, the one I think of with Following is Christopher Nolan's first film. Guessing this is the one from South Korea. A serious thriller about a real estate agent who secretly enters clients' homes and becomes obsessed with a deceptive social media influencer. Sounds like a good pair with Obsession. Nah, probably not. I haven't slept, so I'm loopy. Oof. That's rough, Silas. I'm sorry, bud. I hope you're able to get some decent sleep soon. Yeah. It's interesting seeing like all the films from different places throughout the world that we just rarely hear about. Koreans and Japanese do horror right. They can do some pretty creepy stuff. Alright, unsettled, Bryn nears a stack of bottles. Shifting them, she retrieves a hidden crate of flasks. It's also a very good Japanese movie called We Don't Know Love Yet. Interesting. Horror is too scary. Yeah, I'm with Rad on this. So I'm pretty sure one of the movies I watched kind of recently was the first horror movie from Japan. Might have been Chinese. I could be wrong. Um, but it was I'm pretty sure it was a Japanese remake of Phantom of the Opera, and it's considered the first Japanese horror movie. It was like 2 a.m. when I saw Black Swan. I can't control the lights of the movie. Following is on Amazon. Okay. I do not have Amazon Prime, but that is good to know for people who do. I'm gonna switch that. Really want to play around with the Kiso Tenketsu screenplay structure. I know nothing about that. So if you do, let us know how it goes. In terms of anime, Fate franchise for its character writing and world building. I think I've heard of the Fate anime series, but I have not seen any of it. Returning to the makeshift table, avoiding Margaret's eye, Bryn pours the contents from the various flasks into a metal bowl, sitting between them on the table. Precise. In terms of big movies in Germany, there is the Bibi and Tina films. I have not heard of those. Apparently, contemporary world cinema is not something I am particularly well versed in. Because like most of the non-American films that I hear are either stuff that is imported for awards or prestige, and then I watch a show on the box office, so that usually covers like the biggest movies in China, usually because they have a massive box office as well. Guys, gonna head out for the night. Thanks for chatting. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Yeah, Mariners, thanks for stopping by and hanging out. They're mostly just teens hanging out. Okay, nice. Unsettled, Bryn nears a stack of bottles. Shifting them, she retrieves a hidden crate of flask. Returning to the makeshift table, avoiding Margaret's eye, Bryn pours the contents from the various flasks into a metal bowl, sitting between them on the table. Precise. Yeah, yeah. In terms of video game to movie adaptations, Persona 3 movies are excellent. Yeah, I've heard of the Persona games. I was going to play them at one point, but ended up going playing something else instead. But I have heard like they are really good games. I feel like that it's sitting on the table is implied, so I don't think we need that. Returning to the makeshift table, avoiding Margaret's eye. I'm gonna switch those around. Avoiding Margaret's eye. Bryn returns to the makeshift Table. Avoiding Margaret's eye, Bryn returns to the makeshift table. She pours the contents from the various flasks into a metal bowl. Precise. Wisps of smoke rise from the bowl. Bryn looks across to Margaret. Then we need to flip that as well. Holding back tears, Bryn looks across to Margaret. Wisps of smoke rise from the bowl. Holding back tears, Bryn looks across to Margaret. Bryn. Breathe. Margaret inhales. Refocusing, Bryn begins to draw her hands in a precise... Yeah, we have precise twice. In a practiced motion. Margaret inhales, refocusing, Bryn. I don't feel like we need begins, just draws. Margaret inhales. Yeah, I don't think I need to add anything to that. Margaret inhales, refocusing, Bryn draws her hands in a practiced motion. My other favorite enemies are Gangtotsu, the Count of Monte Cristo, which is excellent imagining of the Count of Monte Cristo, but bad adaptation. Serial Experiments Lane for its commentary on the internet. Evangelion for exploring trauma and existentialism, and My Dress Up Darling for its theme of being yourself. Interesting. Yeah, I've heard of Evangelion. I've seen a couple of the movie adaptations in Letterboxd's top 500. But when I looked into it, there was so much in that series. I was like, I don't know where to start with this, so maybe one day. Not sure if I like refocusing there. Focalizing. Yeah. It's either refocusing or focusing. Yeah. Margaret inhales, refocusing, Bryn draws her hands in a practiced motion. Bryn. Concentrate. You must see her face. Feel like just concentrate. See her face. Margaret. Margaret holds Helene's face in her mind. Bryn. Vestigium. So we have focusing and concentrate, but I want Margaret to have a verb. Genkutitsu, the Count of Monte Cristo, is self-interesting because it takes the POV of Albert Mondigo and his friends, unlike most adaptations of works that take the POV of Edmond Dantes. Okay, yeah, I like adaptations that try something different, because people who complain about adaptations doing different things, like, the original thing's still there. Like, you can still go read the original Count of Monte Cristo whenever you want. So, why would we want the exact thing again? So we just remove concentrate from there so we can use it in the next line. Alright, Margaret inhales, refocusing. Bryn draws her hands in a practice motion. Bryn, see her face. Concentrating, Margaret holds Helene's face in her mind. Bryn, vestigium. Montage, flashes. Woo, we made it through the scene! It only took us 2 streams. It's okay. We're doing alright. We're making progress. Also, the opening of Count of Monte Cristo was made by a French man named Jean-Jacques Burnel. Burnel? Burnel. Interesting. So I feel like all of these are... We can be more specific with our scene heading here, because all of these take place along the Appalachian Mountains into the Dianic Witches outpost there. But we do go into... it would just be a very long scene heading if I put all of that information in there that I want to. Thing about me is I love the story of Count of Monte Cristo because of the theme of vengeance, and the Edmond Dantes proceeds his revenge without needing to kill anyone. Interesting. I may be on kind of the other side of it, because one of my favorite books is A Tale of Two Cities, and that's much more of a theme of rejecting vengeance and self-sacrifice. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. For revenge. Yep. This is gonna be a mess. So we're gonna do it interior, exterior. Outpost. Appalachian Mountains. Day. Montage. 1681. Actually, we can say same. I mean, when I show the 1975 English film annotations, some of the people, one of my friends, server, they ended up calling him French Batman. Yeah. My great-grandfather hiked the Appalachian Mountains every year till the last 2 years of his life. He was a unit of a man. Yeah, sounds like it. I hiked a little bit of the Appalachian Trail when I went out there earlier this year. Me and my sister went hiked a little bit of it. It was gorgeous. It was really nice. And the path we took went out to a really cool overlook that just, yeah, great view of it. All right, so we have interior, exterior, outposts, Appalachian Mountains, same, montage, 1681. Funny enough, there are two music objects. Oh, really? Um, and I spelled mountains wrong. Where was our previous? So that one's just montage flash because it's different locations and different times. This one's a montage, but it's a montage, not flashes. Do we have another one that just flashes or no? No, we don't. So we'll just leave it as montage, and the lines are short enough that I hope it'll be clear that they're meant to be flashes of these things. Oh. Alright, so we're into... So we'll remove the first one. And when I listened to music from Holy Peak, they were both good. Nice. Alright, so we're going to change the first one. Interior, exterior. Interior, exterior, outpost, Appalachian Mountains, same, montage. 1681. Fog settles along the trees of the Appalachian Mountains. A trail winds through the forest, leading to... Yeah, that... Hold on. Leading to a wooden structure. Obscured figures move about outside. I feel like these all... So the way I imagine this is we're seeing what they're seeing. or we're seeing what Bryn is seeing, as the spell is meant to focus in on where Helene is. So we're starting outside in the Appalachian Mountains, then we're getting to the trail that leads them to the structure that goes inside the structure to where Helene is. So I feel like using the ellipses to tie these together as kind of a single thought. Yeah. Interior exterior outpost, Appalachian Mountains, same montage, 1681. Fog settles along the trees of the Appalachian Mountains. A trail winds through the forest, leading to a wooden structure. Obscured figures move about outside. Within the structure, more obscured figures roam about. No, that doesn't. I don't like that. Within the structure, more obscured figures roam about until one of the obscured figures turns to reveal Helene. But as soon as she appears, her face dissipates. So within the structure, more obscured figures roam about until one of the obscured figures turns to reveal Helene. But as soon as she appears, her face dissipates. Interior storeroom tavern, back to scene. 1681. Bryn staggers, off kilter. Margaret looks to her, questioning. Margaret, what happened? Bryn, covering. I found her. Margaret knows there's something Bryn isn't telling her, but she doesn't pursue it. Alright, so we need some clarity up here. Because she sees something before. How do we describe it? Her eyes widen. Bryn's eyes glaze over as she sees. Montage we have. Interior storeroom, tavern, back to scene. Bryn staggers. Margaret looks to her, questioning. What happened? Bryn, covering. I found her. Okay. feel like we need that. I'm gonna take this line out. We might use it later in the next scene, but I don't feel like it quite makes sense there. Oh no. Okay. Alright. Interior storeroom tavern, back to scene. Bryn staggers. Margaret looks to her, questioning. What happened? Bryn. I found her. Margaret. Where? Bryn snatches up the bowl, then exits to interior tavern. Moments later. Bryn smooths out a map atop the bar. Yeah, we don't need all that. Bryn smooths out a map atop the bar. She tips over bowl. Green elixir drips onto the map. The beads of liquid begin to quiver, then run across the map. Then dart across the map to a single point. Alright. We are going to come back to this next time. Because it is starting to get late and I'm old and I need sleep because I have to go into the office tomorrow, but I'm not bitter about it because why would I be bitter that I have to drive and put myself in danger every morning to go into the office when I can do all of my job from home? But I'm definitely not bitter or anything about that. Anyway, moving on. Oh, nice, Yoon. Yeah, thanks for hanging out and lurking and chatting some. I'm glad it was productive for you as well. Just take a few shots. uh, I do not have alcohol. You sound bitter, but it's good that you're not. Exactly. All right, yeah. We are going to call it here. Let's see who else is streaming that we can rate over to. For reading and writing, it looks like Author Christie is streaming. Yeah, it looks like most of the other people are reading or in a language I do not recognize. So many good options online right now. We can try someone new. If you have suggestions, let me know. I'm always good to raid over someone new. Or we might raid this person, because why not? yeah, we'll go right over to someone I randomly found in the reading and writing category and see what they are up to. We have our raid messages. First one is, oh, I just did the same thing over again. First one for subscribers, second one for anyone following for the emotes. If you copy it, it will do the thing. I will be back on Thursday. We will continue doing some editing and stuff. Same time, same channel. And then I will be off for a while I'm on vacation. So, yeah. Thank you again to everyone who stopped by, hung out, chatted, lurked, all the stuff, all the things. Duncan, if you're still here, thank you again for the raid. And I hope to see you all next time.
Thanks for checking out my channel. Do whatever you want. Live your life. I hope you're happy in your body. Much love to you. And see you around.